presidential field wide open for 2016, and a man being touted as one to watch is Dr. Ben Carson, who the Wall Street Journal says may not be politically correct, but he's closer to correct than we've heard in years. Where have they been? If you don't know him yet, take a look. The deck was stacked against Ben Carson right from the start. Born into poverty, raised by a single mother in Detroit. But he beat the odds, graduating medical school and becoming one of the most respected neurosurgeons in the country. In 1987, Dr. Carson made history as the first surgeon to separate twin babies who were conjoined at the head. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and Dr. Carson's common sense speeches on hot topics like political correctness have some people hoping he'll make history again by running for president. Please welcome the author of One Nation, What We Can All Do to Save America's Future, Dr. Ben Carson.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you know what? Our audience took live selfies today. I don't know if you know that. We want to show you one more. You put it up?
Oh, I love it. So, I already got one. There we go. Yeah.
So, what, you know, first of all, do you have presidential aspirations?
It is not something that I desire to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope is that someone will come along who excites the people,
mm-hmm.
who really understands what America is about,
mm-hmm.
and doesn't really want to change it into something else. And if that happens, then I won't do it. But I have so many people asking me, and as a patriotic American, I certainly have to think about it. But it wasn't what I was thinking about when I retired.
Mm. Now, when you sort of look at the landscape, what are you seeing? What needs to be done that isn't being done?
Well, we have to help re-educate people
mm-hmm.
about what America is.
Mm-hmm.
America is a land for of and by the people. It was a place where people were supposed to come to have dreams, to be able to realize those dreams. And we weren't supposed to be people who were managed.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's what people came here to escape from.
Mm-hmm.
People who told them what they could say, what they could do,
mm-hmm.
where they could live, what they had to buy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not America, and that's not what led us to the pinnacle position in the world in record time.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we really want to do is create or recreate
mm-hmm.
that can-do attitude that propelled us to the top, and not the what can you do for me attitude that will propel us to the bottom.
I want to know what you think about what we were just talking about with Donald Sterling as far as forgiveness and political run-amok. Like, what do you think about that?
God forgives us. I would definitely forgive him, but I totally agree that there has to be consequences. There are consequences when we sin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No problem with that. That's logical.
Now, is it true that you were asked actually to apologize to the president after one of your conservative speeches?
After the National Prayer Breakfast last year, I don't know that it was all that conservative, the speech part. It was a matter of talking about what are the issues that are affecting us in a negative way. And yes, about 15 minutes after it ended, I got a phone call from the organizers saying that the White House was very upset and that I need to call the president and apologize. I told them that I had spoken to the president afterwards. He was very cordial, and I don't think he was upset. And if the only reason he would be upset is if what I was saying applied to him.
So did you apologize?
No.
Okay. You know, I wanted to ask about Obamacare, because you have called Obamacare a threat to health, liberty, and financial stability. Why do you feel that way?
Well, recognize one of the things that is critical about the welfare of this nation is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be extremely well-read in lots of different areas. Need to understand what are the principles of freedom. One of the key factors in creating a government that is controlled, that has the ability to control the people, particularly if you look at the writings of neo-Marxists, healthcare. Number one on the list. Take control of people's health care. That makes them dependent.
What about socialized medicine in other countries?
So here's the point.
Okay.
My point is not that we shouldn't provide health care for people.
All right.
I very much believe that we have the ability to provide health care for everybody. We pay more than twice as much per capita for health care in this country as the next closest nation. There's a lot of waste, a lot of fraud. There are ways to do this where we leave the health care in the hands of the people and not in the hands of some faceless bureaucrat.
Well, when you say in the hands of the people, who are you talking about? Because because the insurance companies are, you know, the hospitals on occasion, and, you know, if I lose my insurance, okay. But, you know, the people have not been treated well by the medical community as the big picture of them. Not each individual doctor, don't get me wrong. But if no one steps up, we end up with the same BS that we've had all this other time. How do we fix it?
I totally agree with the premise of your question. There are a lot of things that are wrong, including having a system where one of the major pillars are companies that make money from denying people care.
Yes.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to fix that.
Right.
But the way to fix that is not to create a gigantic government bureaucracy, which will be even bigger than the VA. And you put all these layers of bureaucrats between patients and the healthcare providers.
How do we fix it? I'm sorry, go ahead,
Well,
Jerry.
let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Health savings accounts. In a health savings account, you, the individual, have the ability to spend the money the way you want to spend it. So you pick the doctor that you want to see, you have the services that you want to have, but it comes out of that. You sprain your ankle and you think you need an x-ray? That's coming out of your HSA. You know, you need a physical exam for a new job? That's coming out of your HSA. You need birth control pills? That's coming out of your HSA. Right. No Hobby Lobby.
Ask.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say, you said something that I agree with, is that giving able-bodied people handouts rather than requiring that they work for pay is every bit as cruel as activities practiced by racists of the past. Right. And I mean, you know, do you believe that the welfare system is racist?
Well, let me put it this way. When you rob someone of their incentive to go out there and improve themselves, you are not doing them any favors. When you take somebody and pat them on the head and say, there, you poor little thing, I'm going to give you food stamps, I'm going to give you a house. Well, wait a minute. Let me finish the thought.
Yeah, finish the thought.
Okay, let me give you housing subsidy, let me give you free health care, and because you can't do that. And it's those people over there that's causing you to have your... Wait a minute.
We got to do it quick because we're all to wrap. So.
Okay, so what would be much more empowering is to use our intellect and our resources to give those people a way up and out.
May I just...
I agree.
Okay. Let me just speak to this before we go. As a former welfare mother, very few people want to be on welfare. Very few want to walk with their kids and take food stamps in there. Most people would rather work. Now, I don't feel bad about being a welfare mother because I contribute as an American. That's what we do. And because the welfare system is so bizarre, you can't work. They don't allow you to work because they take the money from you. So if we fix the system so that it doesn't hurt the people, maybe it'll get better. Thank you, Dr. Ben Carson. Members of our audience, you're going to get a copy of the book, One New Nation. We'll be right back.
Jerry and Jenny have a lot of celebrity...